G'day legends, today we are going to be testing out the Black Mist filter from K&F. Kent and Faith make these pretty nifty filters, and you might have heard of the Black Mist filters before. If you haven't, they're used for many things, but one of the effects that you can utilize them in is blooming the highlights in nighttime images. So we're just waiting for the sun to drop down and it's going to get dark. I've got my mate Theo here. He's just about to go on a around the Australia trip with his troopy and his motorbike, which is going to be tethered to the back with a couple of longboards and having an amazing time. And I just wanted to get a shot before he left on his adventure. And hopefully these filters can give us a really cool effect. So we'll start shooting. We'll see what I find, and give these filters a little bit of a review. So stay tuned till the end to see the end results. So while I'm setting up and chasing down some angles for this shoot, I figure it was a good time to have a quick yarn about what the heck a Black Mist filter actually is, and why it's worth having one in your kit if you're into that cinematic, moody kind of look. Now, the one I'm using here today is a quarter strength Black Mist filter from K&F Concept, or Kent and Faith. And look, it's not some over-the-top look-at-me effect. It's more of a quiet achiever. It softens contrast, blooms your highlights just a touch, and takes the sharp digital edge off your frame. Like giving your camera a bit of analog soul, if you know what I mean. Especially at night when you've got harsh lights like headlights or street lamps. In the picture, this thing absolutely shines. It spreads that light glow in a way that feels more filmic, less crunchy. Great for stills, but killer for video. And it just makes things feel a little bit more intentional. I wouldn't slap it on for every job that I'm doing. It's not a one-size-fits-all magic trick, but when the scene suits it, like this old-style bike and troop carrier with a pair of headlights in the background and a subject to tell the story, it adds a layer of depth without having to spend hours in Lightroom faking the vibe. So technically speaking, it's diffusing the highlights, lowering the contrast, and giving a softer roll-off between the shadows and the mid-tones. You still get sharp focus, but the whole frame just breathes a little bit more. It feels a little bit more cinematic. So you can see in this side by side of just the headlights how with the filter it blooms and softens those highlights, spreads the light sort of in a soft haze, where without the filter it's a bit more sharp, a little bit more crunchy. So those that are interested, the way I'm lighting this shot is with a constant light. It's the Godox ML60 Mark II. It's battery powered, super compact, and it makes life easy when you're out on location without mains power. Most of my career I've been using flash for shoots like this, but since I've started mixing in more video work, I've been experimenting with constant lights. It's a bit of a learning curve, but honestly, once you position it where you want it, what you see is what you get. And the bonus, you can shoot stills and video without needing two separate setups. For this one, I've gone with side lighting setup, lighting the subject off to the side to get a little bit more shape and drama. You can light from front on and it works, but I find the side angle just gives the photo a little bit more punch and character, especially when there's texture and contrast in the scene, like there is here. And then you've got the car headlights doing their bit in the background, acting as a backlight and adding that moody glow. So what this filter does is it slightly lifts the blacks, softens the contrast, and it blooms those bright points of light, like these headlights, into a dreamy cinematic glow. It's subtle at the 1/4 strength, but it makes a noticeable difference. That little bit of haze just gives the whole image a more nostalgic, filmic look. Looks like it's straight out of an old movie scene. You get the sharpness and the detail where you need it, like in the eyes, the texture on the shirt, and the details on the bike, but those highlights, they're softened just enough to make everything feel a little bit more intentional, a little bit more artful. So if you're the kind of shooter who wants that subtle glow in your stills or that dreamlike quality in your videos, especially in scenes with practical lights like this, the Black Mist filter is definitely worth playing with. It's not just a glow for glow's sake, it's about storytelling, and this filter gives you one more tool to shape the story that you're trying to tell, whether that's in motions or it's in stills. Mist filters have actually been used in cinema for decades. Old school directors used to stack them to soften harsh 35mm stocks. Today, we're lucky enough to slap one on and get that same feel instantly. If you're keen to give it a crack yourself, I've dropped a link to this exact KNF Black Mist filter down in the description. Affordable, well built, and hey, it might just be that missing piece that you didn't know you needed in your kit. Give it a go next time you're chasing mood, mystery, or that nostalgic film look. Just don't overdo it, or you'll end up looking like a perfume ad from the 90s. Alright, let's keep shooting.